welcome to the Cheltenham Exchange Day 1 Coral Newbury Meeting video. Do not adjust your set. I am Ian Rayner. I'm not the drunk Welshman. We are trying something different that we've not done before, and that is to create a video away from Cheltenham which actually shows our ugly mugs. So for Day 1 we have two special guests. One is Dan Overall and the second is Sam Martin. Dan, you'll know, as part of the Jump Show team, also having great success within racing TV and matchbook content. Sam is a journalist involved in careers in racing and rein it in. You also would have seen her with the guys on Under Starters Orders. Lastly, before you ask who am I introducing, well, I've been drawn out the hat first, and I've been picked the hardest race of the day for Friday. So I hope you all enjoy the video, and here goes. Hello again. So as I say, I've got picked out first, and I believe it's the hardest race of the day to pick anything or discuss anything, and it's the Coral Bet National Hunt Maiden Hurdle. So my pick is going to be Jet Powered. May not come as a surprise. Jet Powered was, of course, for Nico and Hendo in the Donnelly colours. So Jet Powered won his point-to-point by 8 lengths of Boris House in Ireland around December time. Was due to come out towards the end of last season, but due to niggling injuries and surprise, surprise, good ground, which Henderson can't seem to get away from, he was put away for the year. This year, he's come across as an exciting prospect in the not stable tours that Henderson's done, and it's likely he will go the supreme route. Henderson likes to target this race. Previous years, he had John Bond has won this race last year, had Sana Camas in 2019, and going even further back to 2016, he had Jenkins. The threats I can see in this race, similar sort of profile, was a horse for the Skeltons called ITAC Blue, won a point-to-point at Punchestown in May this year. Again, could be in the could be anything category. And another one in the betting, third in the betting, called Call the Dawn. Last time out was second to Gin Coco at Newton Abbot. And of course, Gin Coco went to run really well in the Great Rod at Cheltenham last weekend. So a bit of a tough one, but I'm going to go with Jet Powered. I believe he's currently about 5-4 in the betting. But as it's his first round, I would just say take it easy with your betting and just be careful. But thank you very much. And now on to Matty with his pick.
Thank you, and good luck with your selection. Moving on to the Coral Racing Club Novices Limited Handicap Chase over 2 miles at 12:45. Back in October at Cheltenham, I was sweet on a horse who ended up being a non-runner that day. And he also ended up missing an engagement a week later at Huntingdon. And that is the Chris Gordon trained Orcan Risk. The odds are operating at a 26% strike rate over the last 14 days. And he runs here off a mark of 138. He's only had one start over fences, and when winning at Utoxeter at the beginning of October. Unsure on the prices at the time of recording, but with only 7 runners, I will be ignoring the each-way play here and going win only. Like I said back in October though, regardless of if he wins, he is one I'm keen to keep a close eye on, see how he jumps and runs throughout the season, as he is on my radar for potentially something like the Grand Annual come March at the festival. The one I think could be a danger to Orcan Risk is the Dan Skelton trained Fred Darms, who jumped well on Chase debut when winning at Kempton just over 2 weeks ago. Next up is John with his selection in the 120.
Thanks, Matty. I quite like that selection and he looked good on his debut. The 120 is a 2.5 mile novice hurdle which sees my selection, the Paul Nicholls trained gelding, Stay Away Fay, make his debut. He was bought for $305,000 following his impressive point win at Lingstown last December. He won his point comfortably by 6 lengths, showed some decent speed in the final furlong to pull away from the others. The race has been franked several times, with some of those in behind coming out and winning well. At time of recording, he is 7-4, but I don't expect that to last too long. I am hoping he can win this race well and turn up in March, with the Ballymore potentially being his target. I will now hand over to Dan for his selection in the 155.
Thanks, John. Dan Overall here, looking at the Berkshire Novice Chase on the Friday. Good little race this. Actually does normally produce some decent 3-mile times. And I think we have one here with Stage Star for Paul Nicholls. Really impressed by his chasing debut the other day. I know West Court may have let the form down somewhat, but given the horses he was taking on that day, I think you can excuse it. And to be fair, I would be a bit disappointed if Stage Star was beaten here. Both horse I have a lot of time for. I guess the form of his Carlisle run has been slightly let down somewhat by those in behind. Obviously, Bear Grylls ran a poor race the other day. No drama did as well, but he's a horse I still have my eye on for down the line. Very handicaps over 3 miles, probably be more his thing. And he's also getting £5 a Stage Star, which doesn't help. Obviously, Camprond will need to shape a hell of a lot better than he did over the first fence at Exeter the other day, where he didn't really seem to look a natural chaser. He's worth a second chance, though. Wonderwall is a horse I also have a lot of time for. I think he'll be another one for handicaps down the line. This is a tough starting point, but he just needs to respect his fences more than he did his hurdles, and I think he'll make a nice chaser. And with that, I think Stage Star will be the winner. And over to OJ.
Thanks, Dan. Wonderful stuff. Okay, so 2:30 race, Class 2, handicap chase over 2.5 miles. And my selection here is Fergal O'Brien's Paint the Dream at around 4-1 at the moment, as we are on Wednesday afternoon. Okay, giving weight away to all his rivals, fair enough, but always seems to be honest, runs an honest race. Good record at Newbury, has won twice out of 3 runs at the track, including a very impressive win in March over course and distance, running to an RPR of 164, I think it was. Last run was in the Charlie Hall at Wetherby, finished 4th behind Brave Man's Game. I probably caught out by the distance in the end, I guess, so the drop back in trip should suit. If it rains, he won't be bothered by soft ground, and I think there's nothing in any of the form of the other 5 rivals that I think particularly bothers me. I know he's giving weight away, but yeah, there's nothing that I can find that's hidden away secretly. Beakstown, it's looking like being favourite. I can't be having him. 1 win from 12, I think, over fences. Yeah, so I think he's the best horse in the race, has been running in the best races, and I think he could well lead all the way. So fingers crossed, and good luck if you follow. Okay, over to you, Sam.
Thank you, OJ. My name is Sam Martin, and I'm going to be taking a look at the Coral long distance hurdle for you. There are 6 runners, and it looks a really competitive race. T-Clipper and Dashel Drasher have already been seen out this season, but it's fair to say I think that they might have a little bit to find with a couple of the other runners, particularly fan favourites Champ and Paisley Park, who are both making their seasonal reappearance in this race. Champ has an excellent record fresh, and obviously has some sensational form to his name, including a Cheltenham Festival win over fences. Paisley Park has lit up the Stayers division as being a brilliant story over the last few seasons. Now he's getting on a little bit. He does tend to need this reappearance, but it's great to see him back on track. Now I think the winner of this race will come from the 2 runners who went to the West Yorkshire Hurdle. Prashima managed to win, but he was carrying £6 less than Thomas Darby, and now they both go off the same weight, and I think Thomas Darby has an excellent chance as they reoppose, because last year he ran in the West Yorkshire Hurdle and he finished 4th and then went on to win. This year he's finished 2nd, which puts him in an even better position to defend his crown at Newbury. Over to you, Alex.
Thanks, Sam. Now, moving on to the 7th and final race, my selection is the Warren Greatrix trained A Buffalo Soldier. He's had 3 runs over hurdles so far, all 3 at sort of medium distance trips. First 2 in novice company. The first race, him and the horse in second were well clear of the field, and a lot of the horses in behind have actually gone on and won since. So I think the 4th, 5th, 7th and 9th have all won since, and they were 25 to 40 lengths behind him. The horse that was second as well has won since and not been seen again, so that's one that's probably worth putting in your tracker. So take a look. In his second race, ran in a novice hurdle, ran on soft ground and just didn't go on the ground. He wants a good firmer surface, which at the moment looks like we're going to be getting. Third race was last month, his first race in handicap company, run over a trip of 2 miles 3. One of those races where it's run very slowly at the start and then fast finish, and I think that completely goes against what he's good at. To me, he's a proper stayer, and the step up now, first time in handicap company to 3 miles, to me looks like it's really going to suit. Best price at the moment, 20-1, and even with William Hill, you can get 5 places, so I think he's a great bet. Now, that rounds up our preview for the first day. Doing a preview for Saturday as well, so please keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you very much to our guests. Thanks to Sam and to Dan for coming on and giving us a hand. And most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification. Thanks again. Goodbye.